Our next award winner of the Gerald and Debbie Davis Heart of CFS Award is going to actually share her story with us. But first, I want to do a quick little intro. Brittany Elsie first came to Christian Family Services in 2021 through our pregnancy support program. She was enrolled in our A2A program and received support during her pregnancy and for 1 year after the birth of her youngest son. She enrolled in the Selah Living program in August of 2022. Graduated from the pregnancy support in December of 22. She's been a model client in both programs. Brittany has 5 children and has overcome as much as she can to be able to parent them. She's built an amazing support system that is actually with her here today, right over here at this table, to make it all work, to ensure the needs of her family are met. We are happy and honored to have been a part of her journey to success. Brittany currently works full-time as a direct support professional and aspires to be a nurse in the future. So we're going to ask Brittany to come up and share her story. If you wouldn't mind, honor Brittany with a round of applause.
Thank you all for being here and all the support that CFS has given me over the past 3 years. My name is Brittany Elsie. I feel so very blessed for the opportunity to share my journey while being supported by Christian Family Services. Working with CFS the past 3 years has been a true act of God doing for me what I could not do for myself. While I am excited to share with you the many blessings and positive changes that God has done for me through CFS, I feel that it's important to back up and share with you a little about where I came from and what led me to where I'm at. You see, in 2018, I found myself in quite a mess. I was living with my 4 beautiful children and an abusive partner. What once felt like a fairy tale a few short years earlier was now drowned out with drug and alcohol abuse and domestic violence. Our lives were nowhere near normal. By the fall of 2018, Children's Division had stepped in for a second time and removed my children from my care. The choice to figure out my problem that I had been so consumed in was taken, and all I had left was me and how I was going to fix me so that I could begin again be reunited with my children. Of course, I didn't see it as that during that time. In fact, the way I saw it was just the opposite, and I felt that I was being victimized, and how in the world was I supposed to get better while the people that I loved the most in the world was being kept from me. The pain was unmistakably miserable. Healthy people would say that is a selfish perspective. I was far from healthy, and my toolbox was empty. Healthy people would see this as a blessing to have someone step in and take my children into safety while I worked on myself and became stable to yet again be my children's safety net. As time went on, deep depression sank in, and I may as well have been chum in the water, under attack and being pulled apart. Recovery felt unachievable, but I got up and I fought little by little. There were many missteps and roadblocks that didn't have to be there and were my own doing. Years went by in and out of AA and NA meetings, a failed attempt in family treatment court, supervised visits, court hearings, and lots of drug tests. Somehow I kept falling short, and completion in anything was unattainable. Something wasn't clicking, and it's completely insane to me to look back and easily see what wasn't there. This real lack of was a solid support group and God. I could go to all the recovery meetings, counseling, ComTree groups, and parenting classes, but nothing was going to stick or come together because my foundation was unsteady and flimsy. I was born into a broken family, and addiction was present. It took a long time to get as damaged as I was, and it was going to take a long time to heal. Undo that damage and learn how to live life on life's terms. Most importantly, to find those missing pieces. To me, my problem was catastrophic, and it's because it was. It was life-changing, and at first, I couldn't face that. But God knew what he was doing with me. In the mess, I became pregnant with my 5th child. Some of my family call him my little savior. Bear with me. It's happy tears. It's just really, really tough. July 1st, 2021 was the start of a brand new beginning. Off to inpatient rehab I went. I had a fire in my soul and a newfound passion to fight harder than ever. Failing or giving up was never on the table. This is where it gets good. I came into my faith and established a relationship with Jesus, a real personable relationship, not just religion. It wasn't until I found him, accepted him, and started with him as my foundation that things started working out and positive changes began. I came upon CFS after returning home from a 33-day stay in inpatient rehab, 5 more days in a sober living home for pregnant women, and a scary decision that I made to bring my 6-month pregnant self back home to my 1-bedroom apartment with a strong conviction to never regret that decision or the possibilities and blessings that it may have provided had I stayed. Upon returning home, I immediately retained 2 jobs in the very first week, quit smoking cigarettes, and began searching through a Jefferson County resource guide from A to Z to help me reestablish my life with my children and start really living again. It didn't take long from A through C when I contacted Christian Family Services and connected with them within a week or so. CFS suggested alternatives to abortion program that could provide pregnancy support. Right from square one with their support, they were so helpful in the framework and tackling what was most important first, and that was the new baby that would soon be here. The support and encouragement that I was receiving was none like I had before. It was raw, and the confidence and trust that I had with CFS was miraculous. It was exactly what I needed. I knew for certain that this was God meeting me right where I was. It may have been him that carried me all the way through, because everything that happened after that was so incredible. I'd never been happier in my life, and I hadn't even gotten to where I was going. From then on, I just always knew that everything was going to be all right. A new to me vehicle came about, which was the next major need fulfilled. My beautiful baby boy was born, and he came completely natural and healthy. After a little interference and safety check, my precious baby and I went home. The feeling then was indescribable and seemed so unreal, because I had my other 4 children that I couldn't even visit unsupervised for the past 5 years. And here I am with a child of mine in my home alone. CFS provided anything that we didn't have and helped to find solutions to any obstacles standing between myself and goals that I had set. Classes were provided to support a healthy pregnancy and more classes to support a healthy first year. New skills and coping mechanisms were mastered. A new job was on the table, and CFS was right there to offer support and encouragement to be sure that I can make it to training, whether it was childcare or a lift to get me there. I started a new job which paid much more than I was making at the other jobs. I began advocating for myself in my court cases involving my other 4 children. I taught myself how to file motions and successfully filed family access motions, meetings with attorneys, and telling my story again and again until every need was met in whatever area it was that I was working on now. Court hearings started up again, and before I knew it, visitations started up with 1 child, and then 2, then all 4 of them. This was full of trials, and relationships were rocky with my oldest daughters. The strength that I had been given seemed limitless, because everything that I prayed for was answered. Next, a bigger home came and fulfilled everything that I fretted over. And when it came to moving from a 1-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and full basement apartment, the space was exactly what I needed. and the price was unbelievably affordable. To make it even better, CFS had referred me for their Selah Living program. At this time, this offer was a dream come true. Any sense of worry I had about how I'd afford to keep paying my attorney, the GAL, supervised visits, and the new place was gone before I even had much time to overthink it all. Within the first couple months, CFS brought furniture, beds for all the kids, cleaning supplies, and they shared in my joy and continued to encourage in every way possible. Letters with all the progress and positive changes were provided on my behalf to my attorney and court officials. CFS attended meetings alongside me with the guardian ad litem and other meetings with my attorney to help verbalize my requests, offer support, and be another voice to get clarification for what was going on at times, because the 2 custody cases were extremely messy. I lacked a support group, and CFS became that. Every need, every concern was addressed and met. The beginning of this year brought another trauma into mine and my children's lives, and ultimately placed all my children in my full custody. I get to be their person again. CFS was there immediately between phone calls, emails, and within days to meet with me to provide into all of my children. The biggest test of my family's life were my struggles with addiction and the hardship we went through. This also just so happened to turn into the biggest testimony of my life. Thanks to CFS and my dream team for the opportunity to live a happier, healthier lifestyle and to change our home into a nurturing environment. Most importantly, for breaking a generational curse. I stand here today restored, renewed, and reunited with all 5 of my children and full of hope. I'd like to add an extra big thank you for inviting me to share my story. This is a huge way for me to practice gratitude for all the blessings and answered prayers. Thank you so much.
Yeah.